welcome to the Gatemen postgame show. Connor Federico, Sam Corman, and Jacob Tobey here after an exhilarating win for the Wareham Gatemen. They win it 3-2 against the Cotuit Kettleers on an RBI walk-off double from Robbie Metz. What can you say about this guy? 2 walk-offs here at Spillane now.
I mean, he's the returner. He's the guy that you look to for wisdom and for the clutch hit, I guess, when you're coming back for 2017 after performing well, being in West All-Star in 2016. Metz does a great job, again, down the right field line, too. I mean, clutch hitting with 2 outs. Stephen Kwan works another walk. He did a great job of getting himself on base today. And then Robbie Metz, what can you say? He drove him in. The only thing that was iffy about that play is if it went into the bullpen over there for a ground rule double, the run wouldn't have counted. So, you know, Robbie Metz, a perfect piece of hitting. Great job. Great team win once again.
Jake Anchia gets a clutch RBI single in the 8th inning that ties the game at 2 off of Michael Byrne, who hadn't given up any earned runs in his first 5 appearances this season. How did they do it off of a really good pitcher out of the University of Florida?
I mean, they just hit their spots really well. They got ahead early in the count. Jake Anchia has been your guy all season long, now leads the team in home runs and runs batted in, rather. So, I mean, he's like Colton Shaver from last year. That he did the same exact thing. He led the Cape League in RBIs and home runs. He led his team, obviously, in those categories. So Anchia doing the same thing. I really liked Zavalis tonight. I know he gave up 2 runs. None of them were earned, though. Ben Baer, the tough error over there at shortstop. But Zavalis, he's been great. Had the tough start when he got injured versus Cotuit. But other than that, he's been one of the top 3 arms, I think, on this team. He can be counted on. He's a senior at Harvard. He's just been fantastic. And sneak preview here, we're going to be having a little interview session with him tomorrow. So watch out for that on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Zavalis outstanding. We'll talk more pitching, but first, Claudia Chakamian is with the player of the game, who I think you know who it is, Robbie Metz.
Thank you, guys. I'm joined by the walk-off hero of the Gatemen, player of the game, Robbie Metz. So, Robbie, it was 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. Once you saw Stephen Kwan get on base, what was your thought process?
I mean, I just thought get him to second, get him in scoring position. I was thinking about bunting there. I saw third base in the back, but once I got 2 strikes again, just did the same thing I did. I mean, it was a fastball away. I was kind of expecting it, and so I just drove it the other way, and it worked out.
Now, the last time that you walked it off here at Spillane Field, you were a pinch hitter. You guys didn't have that opportunity tonight with only 9 position players. Was that going through the team's mind at all, knowing that nobody could be substituted?
Oh!
Are you... What So, was that going through your mind at all, knowing that you guys couldn't substitute anyone in?
Not really. I mean, we know we were the 9 guys. I mean, he was going with us no matter what. And so, I mean, we just tried to do our best, and it worked out, and we got to win.
How good does this feel now? 2 games in a row. You're starting to pick up the pace. What does it feel like?
It feels great. I mean, we're doing it right before playoffs, so hopefully we keep it up and keep that going into playoffs.
Now, something I've talked a lot with Coach Sneddon about has been taking it 1 game at a time. Like you just mentioned, it's the final stretch. So what are you guys thinking now during this last few games?
I mean, just play as best as we can. I mean, we know we're tired. It's a grind right now, but we're going to get through this, and hopefully we can make a run.
Great. Thank you, Robbie. Congrats again.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thank you, Claudia. I mean, we just talked about Zavalis already a little bit, but what can you say about this guy? He's just getting better and better.
Well, not just this summer, but since last summer. He was here in the beginning of the season as a temp player, was released from the team, came back in August, and had a strong start as the season wound down. Here on July 31st, he was nothing short of fantastic. The slider was working so well for him in all sorts of counts. He can throw pitches high, low, work the hitter's eye level, then go inside, outside, change the speeds. He's such a smart pitcher from Harvard. That's sort of what we expect from him. And he's been killing it lately for the Gatemen. He's a top arm they rely on.
Grant Wolfram and Brett Canine also provide steady relief out of the bullpen. No earned runs for the Gatemen pitching staff today. What'd you like out of those 2 guys?
I always like what they give. I mean, they give top effort every single time Canine comes in. He always will pitch well. I mean, the one time he didn't pitch well was his first outing back here versus the Chatham Anglers, and I don't know. I mean, the bullpen's finding their pieces right now, and they're finding their way. And Grant Wolfram actually supposed to start last game. He didn't end up getting that start. They gave it to Britton instead, but He's continuing to come out of the bullpen and show what he does best, and that's shut guys down. Yeah, he had a little bit of trouble, but he finds his way, and Knight obviously does what he does best. This Gatemen bullpen is finding their niche.
Wolfram, of course, a starter back at Davenport College in Michigan, a bullpen guy so far this season. We'll see how they decide to use him during the last few weeks of the season. Claudia Chakamian is with our head coach, Don Sneddon.
Thank you, guys. I'm joined by Gatemen head coach Don Sneddon. So, Coach, back here at home, Swain Field tonight, you get your second win of this final stretch. How good did it feel to get this win against your division opponent in Cotuit?
Well, it's a must-win for us if we want to get into the playoffs for us, and it didn't look good for a while there. We gave them 2 runs on a very unique play. Our first baseman fell or missed the ball because it was a bad throw, but then forgot to get up and go get the ball. So 2 runs later on an overthrow, and it looked like that was going to hold up. And then luckily we were able to get a couple runs and then win it here in the bottom of the 9th.
Now, the last time the Gatemen walked it off here at Swain Field, you put Robbie Metz in as a pinch hitter. Tonight you didn't have that situation with only 9 position players. So were you nervous at all, especially when Quan got on with 2 outs?
Well, you never know. With 2 outs, we haven't been real effective at scoring runners with 2 outs. So, and he has a bad knee. So I was just hoping Quan's knee would hold up to get him all the way around to the plate on there. So it was a little bit of a gamble earlier. I didn't bunt Duran, and then we hit a fly ball, so I'm kicking myself. But Anchia got the base hit to tie that up, and then we come in extra innings, and Conine got out of that inning with a key double play right there.
And now you guys have won these past 2 games with basically with no bench players. So what does this say about your team moving forward, that they have the capability to be productive up and down the lineup?
Couldn't be prouder of them. I mean, just battling. We're wounded. I mean, we're beat up. Quan, as I mentioned, has got a bad knee. Ben couldn't even feel the ball come out of his hands there, and he wanted to play. Just the character of the team is coming through for him, and just very proud of him.
Now, you don't like to take things, future, but what do you want to do over these next few days, especially, like you said, the team's kind of beat up right now?
Stay healthy. We have only 9 players. We don't have anybody else until Tuesday or Wednesday. So the cavalry's not coming. They got stalled someplace. So we got to stay healthy.
Thank you, Coach. Congrats on the win.